Hi, this is Loredana Nicolae from NNC Services. Today, I'd like to remind you about our free webinar. It's coming up in a couple of hours, so please remember to register. I'm going to leave the links below as usual, as we look forward to discussing with you how outsourcing is impacted with all the remote work. Because this is very new, there's not a lot of data. I think data is just being collected right now, but I just wanted to pinpoint you at a couple of very relevant things. So first of all, we have the IMF, the World Economic Outlook, that was just released in April, that shows you how the most advanced economies actually are going to recover only in a couple of years. That being said, one of the things that most companies will be tempted to do is actually to outsource some of the work just because they laid off so many people. A new study that just came out from AHS regarding the automotive space, and remember, the automotive space is actually one of the spaces that suffered, so an industry that was hit, right? So if an industry that was hit is actually expected to reduce development like 13%, reduce the dedicated budget, the R&D budget, to look at e-mobility technology, right? Everybody else, I assume, is going to be. So I believe that what we see in this study in the automotive industry, we're going to see it with pretty much every other industry out there, right? But you see that only 4% of respondents expect to delay their development project. What that tells you is that the difference between the ones that are thinking of reducing and of delaying production and so on, however, they're going to look at solutions, and outsourcing is one of the solutions. The study is a very good one. I highly advise you to dig it out and look at it by yourself. It's interesting to see the R&D insourcing versus outsourcing stats, right? We have a question that's actually addressed by one of the webinar participants later today, specifically addressing this. So I'm not going to disclose a lot of info. I just wanted to show you the study. For example, if you look overall at either significantly more in-house development or some or more investment in R&D and outsourcing, these numbers are pretty much there, right? So the large companies, we don't see significant change. The medium companies, they may consider a bit more insourcing, but then the small companies are definitely going to consider outsourcing. With this, I'd like to show you something very interesting, because we're going to address the outsourcing, the changes in outsourcing now that we are all working from home. And I just wanted to show you this amazing study that says who is now under the COVID crisis actually working from home and how are they impacted. So can you see that as this amazing Tableau infographic is showing, working from home is actually not a burden, but a privilege. The lower class didn't adapt it so well to working from home, while the more you go to upper middle class and upper class, even more than 50% of people were easily able to adapt and work from home, right? This is a study done March 27 to 13, so it's a very recent study. And look at the companies closed for contracts terminated. 44% of the contracts in lower class were terminated, were only 12% or 17% in the upper middle and upper class. What that actually tells you is that the readiness is also company based, but it's also person based, right? So each one of us has the option to be ready. And as I mentioned yesterday, if it happens to you once, it may take you by surprise. If it happens to you again, and if you are not ready, then it's all on you. I look forward to seeing you all in a few hours. I am very excited about this conversation with Greg and Corson and Ken Smith from APEAK Solutions. We are hoping to see a very interesting crowd and to have an open conversation about what's coming, how can we all survive and thrive, what kind of industries are more impacted, and how outsourcing will change now that we all work from home. Thank you. Bye.